Welcome to the Film Sessions podcast. Today, we're excited to feature Corey Stone. So, Corey, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. My name is Corey. I'm 31 years old, born in Northern California. And then I moved to Southern California after my college years to learn screenwriting and get into the entertainment field. And so that's what I'm pursuing currently at the moment now.
All right. So what inspired you, to first get started in filmmaking?
What inspired me, I really loved film from an early age. I worked at a movie theater at the ripe age of 16, and I was there for about 6 years. I was a projectionist, so we were filming and putting the largest films together on the biggest screens in Northern California. So I got to work with film and watch it and learn about it. And so I really fell in love with it. I also went to school for radio, television, and film. And so I pursued it ever since pretty much a young age.
And how have you continued to, pursue your career, your journey in filmmaking?
Yeah, so when I moved down to Southern California, I pursued screenwriting pretty intensely for a couple years. And now I am also pursuing directing as well. I want to be a writer-director in the field. And so I've started making my first few short films recently. And so I'm always finding ways to be writing, be putting my projects into development or pre-production or production. So I'm always continuing on the path.
All right. And do you want to start off by, telling us a little bit about your film?
Yeah. So the film that got into the SWIFF Film Festival was called NEWSROOM. It's my second short film that I've made. I wrote, produced, and directed. So essentially the film is about the few minutes before a morning news broadcast, and a team of newscasters are sort of preparing for the day ahead. And there's some drama behind the scenes. And then when they finally go on air, there's even more drama. So it's a story about being an underdog, having your back against the wall. And my main character finds a way through the problematic situations of the morning to sort of ultimately have things work out for him in the end.
And, on that note, what would you say your message is to the audience?
The message of my short film, I think, is that sometimes when we do have our back against the wall, it may be a positive experience for us looking back at it. I feel like ultimately if our characters are put under pressure, they learn to change. And I feel that's the same as being a human being. The circumstances and pressures in our life make us better and continue to help us evolve and grow through our fears, our desires, wants, and needs, all of that good stuff.
And if you want to, walk us through the process of, making your film.
Yeah, so NEWSROOM actually was a 2-day shoot. We had a space where we could use the small room of like a film school. We were essentially working at the Moore Park television studio. And so because of that, we set it up like it was a real live working news set with a backdrop and 3 cameras. And then we were going through this space as sort of kind of behind the scenes of a news production that would be going on in the morning. So yeah, it was a 2-day shoot. I had about 14 or 15 cast members. I had about 6 or 7 crew members. And we were able to get in 2 days and to shoot about 9 pages of a script. And then what ultimately came from it was 8 minutes of screen time. And they were just very inspiring days. They were long days, but they were filled with making connections, finding the shots that we wanted, working with my crew and my cast to get the desired outcome, to be able to find those emotional moments when needed. And it was one of the best creative experiences of my life so far. So it was such a joy to have friends and family on set working for something that I wrote just a few weeks before. So it was a lot of fun.
Lovely, lovely. And how do you approach, the creative process of developing a film idea or concept?
Yeah, so I've been writing for a few years. I sort of write what comes to me. I'm inspired by music a lot of the time, but when it comes to short films, I'm really just looking for powerful characters who are in conflict or trying to achieve a desired goal or outcome, and they're not being able to do it. I think characters, when they are in a hole, we like to see as an audience those characters sort of climb out of it. And so the films that I write probably most of the time have a positive outcome, even though it might not seem that way from the outstart.
And what steps you take from the initial idea to the final product?
Yeah, usually a script. Once that script is written and it's been rewritten so that I can find really the heart of the story, I think that's where a lot of my creativity and passion lies, in the script. And so if I feel that I have a strong script, then I can go out, find the people that I want to surround myself with, the cast members that I want to shoot. And really it all ties back to what's in the script, what's beneath the words that they're saying, what the message is that I want to get out into the world. So that's kind of the process. I'm really a big storyteller. I really care about story. And so I'm working on that script until it's finally ready to be shot. And hopefully if I surround myself with the most creative of people, then I'll get that desired outcome of that creative experience, or the catharsis that an audience loves to see when watching a character.
Lovely, lovely. And where can the audience find your film, or any, social media handles that you want to share?
Yeah, so I'll eventually be releasing Newsroom on my YouTube channel. I also am all over social media at cwstonestudios.com. You can also find my social media handles at CW Stone Studios. That's CWSTONESTUDIOS. And so I'm pretty much all over social media. And I'll be releasing not only the festival version of Newsroom, but a blooper reel, a director's cut, and also a 2-hour behind the scenes video. So I'll have a lot of fun videos that sort of complement the final, version of Newsroom, along with all my other shorts and other creative stuff I have.
Lovely, lovely. And have you made any other films in the past?
So yeah, Newsroom was my second film. I made my first film called Bus Stop, which is basically a meet cute about two strangers who meet at a bus stop. And so it's a cute little rom-com, short little film that I made this past year. And so those are my first two, and they were really, really great creative experiences, projects that I both wrote and directed. And so it's great to be in the space.
And do you plan on making more in the future?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I have 2 short films right now in pre-production. I've cast already one of those projects, and I'm going to be shooting in the fall. Hopefully the other one as well, once I get that cast. So yeah, I think by the end of the year, I'll have 2 more shorts finished. And so I'll have at least 4 films to take out to festivals, continuing to hopefully work with SWIFF and other companies that kind of want to show my film if they're interested in it, and really just work with filmmakers and collaborators who want to see our passions come to life.
Lovely, lovely. And, on a fun note, do you have a favorite movie?
I do have a favorite movie. It's Good Will Hunting.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah, that one got me from an early age. And even though a lot of my favorite films kind of like switch positions over the years, Good Will Hunting has been one that sort of sits at the top of that list, along with like Blue Valentine and the assassination of Jesse James. So a lot of other films for sure.
Lovely. And what are some resources that you would recommend to student filmmakers?
Some resources. I'm on Studio Binder, which is a website that you can kind of consolidate all of your writing work. It's a great resource for writers or screenwriters who just want to have all their projects in one space. It's very organized. You can also write screenplays from there. And then I also, there's a website called Stage 32, which you can pitch your projects to producers in the field, people who are putting projects together for either film or TV outlets. And so those are some resources that I use and that have served me well in my journey so far.
And what's one piece of advice that you would have for aspiring student filmmakers out there?
One piece of advice. I would say really follow your instincts when it comes to filmmaking, when it comes to writing, when it comes to casting, when it comes to choosing your crew, when it comes to editing. A lot of these things, we tend to rely on others or information outside of us, but really you have a compass, you have a guide inside of you. So your instincts and relying on those instincts, whether it's been watching many films over the years or being able to understand human behavior or any of these things that are kind of guided by our feeling and emotion, more so than our intellectual mind, I would say rely more on those instincts, because I think that's what lies at the bottom and the inside the deepest places of filmmaking, is that heart, that emotion, that feeling that we all want to see on screen. So lean into your strengths and instincts when it comes to all aspects of filmmaking, and I don't think it will lead you wrong.
And are there any, exciting things that have happened in your journey or, your career that you want to share?
Well, yeah, I've been in and out of the entertainment field for almost a decade now. I've gotten to meet some really cool people, some actors, some actresses, some producers, and then also creatively, I've been able to write multiple feature films. I'm also a writing mentor, so I've helped writers with their pilots and their film scripts. And it's very fulfilling to be able to read somebody's work and give them feedback. It points them in the right direction. And so it's been an exciting career so far. I'm really only beginning my journey because of the first films that I made. I want to keep continuing supporting writers, connecting and networking with people in the industry who inspire me, and keep watching films, keep loving films, keep getting the word out about mine, and hopefully people enjoy what I've done and want to see more.
Lovely. Well, we've covered all the questions I've had for today's interview, and I just wanted to say thank you again, Corey, for being a part of the Film Sessions podcast today. It was really lovely to have you.